Hi, this is a video for IT 112, and this is assignment 8 forms. So we're going to create some forms to enter data. And I'm going to show you a couple of, I think I'll just do one form, but you probably would want multiple forms. And I think the assignment basically asks you to do a couple of forms. So I am going to do a form. I am going to go to Visual Studio Code. I'm still up here from last time. And one of the things, and I'm still in the environment. One of the things that I want to do is I need to add a forms file here because it doesn't exist. So up here at the tech level, I am going to right click, I'm going to add a new file. It's going to be forms.py. Again, it has to be exactly like that, lowercase .py. Okay, in forms.py, I'm going to import Alright, so we're going to do from cat type so from Django import forms, and we're also going to import the models. And so particularly I'm going to do tech type product and review, although we're only going to deal with product for now because I just want to give you the basics of this. Models are kind of like, forms are kind of like models in that they are a class. And I'm going to do class product form, and it's going to inherit forms dot model form, and it should have a cap. Okay. And there's going to be inside of it a class meta, kind of like we had on that. And here's where you specify what fields you want and what the model is. So I'm going to say the model equals product. And for fields, we're going to say double underscore all. Now, you could do a selection of fields. You could say what fields you want to show. And there's other ways to customize this, but this is the gist. It's a very simple thing. So I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to go to views. We're going to make a view to process this form. So I'm going to create a method. I'm going to call it new product. It's going to take in self, or actually a request. We're going to say what the form is. Form equals product form. Now, this won't work because we haven't imported it. So we need to go up to the top and we need to do from dot forms import product form. Okay, now what we've done here will work. So that we are going to do a couple of ifs here. We're going to say if request.method, right? The request was passed in. So if the request.method equal post. All right, so we're posting from the form. Oh, and actually it's okay. Then colon, because it's an if, form, and product form, request, and post. All right, and then we're going to do another if, an embedded if. If form dot is dot valid. Okay, we're going to make sure that the form is valid. Then we're going to post the form. Post equals form dot save and I'm going to do commit equal true. Okay, and then we're going to make sure that we save it. Post dot save, and then we're going to return to an empty form. So we're going to say form equal product form. Okay, so that's what we do there. Else, and this is else for the outer one, the outer if. Otherwise, we just show the form if it's not a post, because we want to be able to see the form. And for the whole method, we return render request and tech new product form, or new product.html. And the part that we're passing is form dot form. Okay, so that's the whole form. Just to review it again, we created a method, takes in a request, we specify our form, we look to see if it's a post or not. If it's a post, we handle the request post thing. We check to see if the form is valid. If it is valid, we post it, we save it, and then we go back to an empty form. Otherwise, we just go to the empty form. Okay, and then this is the return where we request the tech new product HTML form and form. So we haven't created that yet, but we will. So I'm going to do save, and then I'm going to go to the URLs, right? And we're going to add a path, and it is new product, and it will be views. And I want to look to make sure that I have it exactly right. New product with a capital P. And then the name, and we're going to call the name new product. Okay. So we've added it to the URL. And I'm going to save this. All right. So, a couple of other things to do. We've created the model, right? So we've created the model. We've added the view. We've changed the URL. I need to make an HTML file for it, and we said it would be new product.html. All right. And to do that, we extend the base, of course. We create our block content. We should, while we're at it, do our end block. All right. So I'm going to give it a heading. This is just HTML. I'm going to say add product. And I am going to create a table. And I'm going to give it a class. This class comes from the style sheet. Okay. We're going to do form method equals post. Class equals post form. Again, these are from the style sheet that's in base. And then I'm going to do a curly brace parentheses or curly brace %, and we're going to say CRSF token. This is actually CSRRF token. This is actually just for security on the form. And then I am going to do two curly braces, form dot as table. Okay, so that's our content, and then I'm going to close the table tag. Now I haven't closed the form yet because I want to also include a button. Otherwise we won't have any way to submit it. Class equals save button btn default. So these are all Bootstrap styles and classes. I'm going to do save, and we'll close the button. And then we'll close the form. So we have extend space, block content, we have our end block, we have an add product just as a heading, we're creating a table, we're creating a form inside the table that has a post, and it's a post form. We're inputting the form as a table. It's going to take all the fields from our model and put them into this thing, and then we're going to do table, close the table, we have a button, and then we close the form. One last thing before we run this, and this is where we go to the base HTML, and what we want to do is just do like this with the products. So I actually am going to copy all of that, and I'm going to put it in here, and we're going to change a couple of things. So the name is new product, and one there, and then we're going to change this to add product. Okay, so I'm going to save this. In fact, I'm going to, because I'm not sure I got everything, I'm going to save all, and then I'm going to try to run. So I am going to do Python manage py run server. If there are any errors, they should pop up now. And there are errors. This is in the view. Oh, I left out the equal sign. So I save that again. And it doesn't like form is valid. Why does it not like that? Oh, it's an underscore. So I'll save again. Okay, now it says that it's running, so let's see if it actually is. So we'll go over here. We'll do HTTP. We want 127.8,000, and we want tech. There it is. So let's add a product. See how our form looks? This is, again, we haven't done anything to it. There are ways to customize it. But let's do Dell laptop or a Dell Inspiris. I don't know what the types are. I have a vague memory of this. We've only got the three things there. So laptop, I've only got the one user in there. The date, this time it doesn't give me the, so let's do 2020. Actually, let's make it, since it'll be next year, let's do 2021. 2-5. 5. Price, let's make it 950.87. Why not? We're just going to do http dell.com and description, a decent laptop. Okay, so we've got all of that. We have our save button. Notice it comes back to an empty form, but let's go back to our products. Notice that we've added the Dell Inspiris here, and it also works to go to the details there. So if we go to products, our product has been added, and we can add things as much as we want. All right, so that is most of this assignment. I did say to try to test the form, and that is a bit of a pain. We'll see what happens here real quickly. So I'm going to try to do a couple of tests. I have fixed the other tests, by the way, and they'll be fixed when they come up. I'm going to do a class new product form, and I'm going to, of course, take in test case. And we're going to try to do a couple of tests. So I'm going to try to enter it with a valid form. So what I'm going to do is def, oops, I don't want another, I just want def test underscore product form. Okay, and I am going to put self here. And then what I need to do is I have to provide values for all of these. Let's see if I can do this. So I'm going to say form equals product form. Oh, and for this to work, we need to import dot forms, and for right now I'm just going to introduce product form. Okay, and we got to give value for all the product forms. So I am going to do data equals, and there are ways you could do this better, but so I'm going to do product name, whoops, so it's a curly brace because we're basically doing a JSON here. It's quotes, product name equals, and it doesn't matter what you type as long as it's a value, surface. Comma, tech type, and actually this should be a colon because it is a JSON file. Tech type laptop. User. I need to make sure that all of the fields are right. Product name, product type. So I need to say product type, user, date entered, price. Okay, so let's go back. So product name, product type, not tech type. User is all right. And okay, and we need it was date entered and price. So date entered. As I said, there is another way to do this. Maybe I'll try this. I'm just trying to make this a little bit better. To read twenty 21 1 dash 5 comma. So date entered, price. $1,200. Don't know that that needs quoted, but I'll leave it so. So we need the URL and the description. Is that how I did it? Lowercase. And I'm just going to do HTTP www www.microsoft.com and description. Half laptop, half tablet. Okay, so that should work. And then what we want to assert is that the form is valid. And what we want to assert is not equal but true. Form dot is valid. All right, let's try that. I'm going to save this. So we will run this test. I actually need to down here get out of the Control-C to get out of that. Doesn't like data. Control-C. Let's see if we get that error. I'm going to do test. So it has a fatal error. Import.forms product form. Oh, I know why. From dot forms. Import. Okay, try again. Test case. Oh, my class is wrong indentation. And this needs to go away. And these need to come back. All right. All right, so they all passed. It did pass. It is true that it is valid. So, all right, I think that's all I'm going to do for the testing. Sorry about the pause there. I was just looking to see if there was running. So it tests whether the form is valid, and the valid did succeed. In order to do that, you basically have to provide all of the fields for the form and make sure. Now, if you leave something out, like, I guess I might do one more test. So I'm going to do def test product form and I'm going to do invalid test case. Actually, just self here because we're in the same thing. I'm going to copy the same data, but I'm going to leave one piece out. Okay, so let's take the price out. So it should no longer be valid. So I'm going to copy these as well. Except I'm going to say assert true form is, instead of assert true this time, I'm going to say insert false, assert false. And that should cause this to fail. That should still succeed as a test because we're saying that this version is false. It is not a valid form. I'm going to save. I'm going to run one more time. So one thing failed. So it's not invalid. It's not false. Somehow that worked. I'm not sure how to make it invalid. Let's put in this should fail. And that should make this, that should make the last test be successful. So it did succeed. Well, it still failed. Not sure what will make it false. I'm not sure what will make it false. I'm going to just put a note in there that this test is failing. And it's fine if you have some tests that don't fail. You can spend some time troubleshooting them, but don't spend hours doing it. I'm going to let this be it, except for one last thing, the part we always need to do, which is I am going to save this, and then I'm going to go to the GitHub. I am going to add all of the changes to the classes that matter. right. I think I have them all. I am going to commit, and I'm going to say form commit. And I'm going to push. Okay, so if I go to GitHub, this is our tech review with the wrong year. I'm going to refresh it. Let's go to tech. And it does now have forms.py with our form. Our views should have the new product requests. Our templates should have new product. Okay, everything seems to be there. Let's look at our tests. And it has our good test and our failing test. Okay. So that'll be it for this video.